Hi, LinkedIn Live, and welcome back to Mice Bites by Authentic Meetings and Incentives. I'm Natalie Horan, and this is your midweek Mice-worthy educational snack. Today, we are joined by Amy Zmolik, I think I'm saying it right, from Holland America line. If you haven't looked at Holland
That's right.
America line lately, you might be missing one of the smartest plays in group cruising. From full ship charters to iconic itineraries, Amy is breaking it down in the next 15 minutes. We'll have a Q&A at the end, so drop your questions in the chat. Let's go.
All right. Thanks, Natalie, and thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm Amy Zmolik. Natalie got it right. I am the manager of charter and incentive sales for Holland America line and Seabourn. I have been with the company for about 4 years. I've been in the cruise industry a little over 10. I actually had my own agency pre-COVID, Cruise Planners Travel Agency. So I'm very familiar with all of the major cruise brands. I've planned incentive and corporate groups myself. And I also have about 10 years prior to that in event marketing, where I did handle all of the logistics and event planning. So my role now really melds my experience perfectly. And I understand what it's like to be an event planner and have a good, strong knowledge of the cruise industry and, of course, our brand. So I'm excited to share with you Holland America line today. So what I'm going to go over today is talk about what makes Holland America line so special for you, your clients, your groups, and why we really are a hidden gem for you. We're going to go over why even consider cruising, why Holland America, and why partner with our team for your MICE groups and charters. So first up, why even consider cruising for incentive and corporate groups? So a lot of you listening to this are likely already all in on offering cruising to your group. So we'll definitely be looking more in depth at what sets Holland America line apart. But for those of you just beginning to familiarize yourself with cruising as an option, I'm going to run through those considerations, since we really are seeing a rising interest and increased popularity in cruising for corporate groups and incentives. It's something that you should be thinking about and educating your clients as well about all of the great benefits that come with choosing a cruise for their groups. I think this photo speaks to that just a little bit. The scenery that you get from being on a ship and looking to the land, whether you're cruising around, an island like the Azores, or this picture is Milford Sound in New Zealand, fjords, glaciers in Alaska. That's one amazing thing about cruising that I love to share and I love to see in the photos that you'll see today. So jumping into why choose cruising. The first thing is it's a journey. The entire journey, it can be inspirational and motivational to those, especially to those incentive groups where you're looking to make an impact. So it's more than just a destination or a series of destinations. It really is an entire journey. Our destinations offer a wow factor across the globe. You get multiple cultural experiences with each cruise. So in one trip, you can experience multiple countries, multiple islands. On my last cruise, I visited 5 different countries, and you can actually see even more than that potentially on just a 7-day experience. So you really get to experience all kinds of great things on a cruise in one trip. You get the best of both worlds. So you get land and you get sea. There's a misconception that cruising is just all about the ship. You're going to be bored, but that is absolutely not true. So you have great land experiences. We have lots of itineraries that may only have one sea day. So if you want more land, you can have more land. If you want more sea, you can have more sea. But we have shore excursions, of course, in all of our ports. And you can extend your Alaska trips with a land add-on as well through our cruise tour. So there really is so much impact that can be made and so many things that you can experience on a cruise. One of my favorite things too is that just the wildlife and whale sightings that you get from a cruise. I've seen whales from my Alaska cruise, Mexico cruises, in Bermuda, transatlantic, so much that you can see out in the middle of the ocean that you may not even be expecting. So just really exciting. And if you have for those sea days, you can really maximize the time for well-deserved relaxation, especially for those corporate groups, those incentive teams that have been working so hard. You have those sea days for relaxation. It's also a great, convenient time to do team building or a meeting focus. You have a captive audience. They can't run off to other land destinations nearby. So they're right on board. It's great for teams that work remotely and crafting a team environment as well. I do want to point out in my photos here, over on the bottom right is our thermal suite, which we have on all of our ships, which is a great add-on that guests can purchase and really enjoy. Sauna, steam room, hot tub, our thermal loungers with a view of the ocean, really special experiences on board. The next reason that you would want to consider cruising for your groups and your corporate groups and incentive groups is variety. There are diverse experiences. There's a misconception of limited choices, maybe getting bored in a cruise. Absolutely not. We have 9 to 14 plus dining options on our ships. I say plus because sometimes we have some special pop-up restaurants that we do on our itineraries. We have activities for all ages, so much variety. We have activities centered around sports, art, local culture, spa, relaxation, exercise, music, movies. There's a casino, dancing, shopping, multiple pools, so much. The list just goes on and on. So there's really so many activities that can appeal to many different ages and interests, which is really important as we start to see more and more Gen Zers really entering the workforce and being part of those incentive groups. We can appeal to multi-generational groups on board. The next reason to consider cruising is value, maximizing the budget. Cruising is pretty much all inclusive. Your meals, your entertainment, your fitness center use, live music, most of the activities are all included. And your corporate and incentive groups with us also are going to include drinks, Wi-Fi, money towards shore excursions, specialty dining options. You have cost certainty. You have a rate and you get your inclusions and you know that isn't going to go up. It's cost effective. We don't charge for use of our venues like a lot of hotels do, and we don't have any food and beverage minimums as well. So really a true value when you choose cruising. Next is cruising is client centric. It's customer driven excellence. As an industry, we have very high customer satisfaction rates. Also, we prioritize safety, so that's not a concern. We will actively adjust itineraries based on weather, political events, etc. And for our groups and our charters, we do personalization and a wide array of customization options. So now I've kind of gone through with you why to consider cruising for your group. So let's talk about why to consider Holland America line. We really are the premium cruise line for perfecting the art of cruise travel. So let me go through some highlights on what we have to offer, and so that you can feel confident in presenting Holland America line to your clients and to your groups. We're going to give you an elevated overall experience, and I'm going to talk a little more detail about each of these things. We're one of America's most loved brands, an elevated guest experience through our Savor of the Journey promise to deliver exceptional voyages, inspire delight, connect travelers to the world and each other through onboard activities, service, culinary excellence, and destination immersion. And we're going to give you that elevated client experience with our charter incentive team. So just this year, we were named one of Newsweek's most loved brands of 2025. We are the only cruise line on the list. This was a list of 7,000 companies narrowed down to 500 from interviews with over 24,000 consumers and over 359,000 brand reviews and social sentiment. And I am so proud of this award. We have lots of awards, but this is one of them that I am the most proud of and completely agree with as someone who has sailed on multiple cruise lines. We are just steeped in history and tradition, very well known, and we're known for being timeless, authentic, joyful, caring for people rather than just waiting on them, sophisticated, active, and inspiring. So something that you can share with your clients and your groups of what the general sentiment is regarding our brand. And we're out there and people love us. So moving on to the client experience, whether your clients are going to experience on board, unforgettable onboard experiences for your groups. The first thing is we truly offer the art of leisurely travel. Well-deserved, well-earned for your corporate groups and incentive teams, especially that are working so hard. We have uncrowded ships. It just never feels crowded. Even I've been on our largest ship And there's still just so many nooks that you can have some private time. And it just is very different from other large ships that I've sailed on. We have just the most perfectly sized ships to get into ports that larger ships cannot as well. You can see we have a fleet of 11 ships, ranging from our ships that are around 1,400 in our R class all the way up to our Pinnacle class and our newest ships that are around 2,700. You're going to get a consistent experience on all of our ships, but we have a lot of options to choose from. Plus, we have amazing venues that you can use for your group space. We have 8 to 11 bars, lounges, pool areas, and entertainment venues on every ship. The next thing about that you're going to have your clients experiencing on that onboard experience is great rooms, more personal space, larger staterooms. And I can say that your stateroom experience on Holland America line is truly a premium experience. There's lots of storage space, massage shower heads, excellent toiletries, a super comfortable Eurotop plush mariner's dream bed, deluxe bathrobes. We have special touches like extra blankets in the cupboards when you're in Alaska that you can just wrap around yourself when you step out onto your veranda as you view the icebergs floating by as you're approaching the glacier. We have umbrellas, beach towels. So we really do think of the niceties and the comforts that you will need in your room. We also have some great suites where you can have your clients upgrade their VIPs, where those amenities just become more premium. Priority access is offered. There's a few pictures here that show our Neptune suite, which you can see is extremely spacious, all the way down to our interior room, which is also still very premium in quality and quite spacious as well. The next piece of that onboard experience is the best live music at sea and staying connected with Wi-Fi. Fantastic live music nightly. I could go on and on about how amazing the music is. We have BB King's Blues Club. They play R&B and soul. They're a live band with a dance floor. It is a tremendous experience. I can't say enough about it. We have the Rolling Stone Lounge, which is also a live band, but they may play disco, rock, pop, country, depending on the band that evening. We have our Billboard on Board pianists who will sing, often take requests. I think I requested Counting Crows, Mr. Jones last time. And they will play music going back all the way to the 50s to today. And all of these things are happening sort of trading off and simultaneously. So you have some options for that live music. And it really is just a really fun experience with high quality performers. And of course, we have our world stage where we have our nightly shows. We have musical acts there and other types of performances as well. And we have Starlink across our fleet. And like, as I mentioned earlier, our incentive and corporate groups, we do include the Wi-Fi. The next piece of the onboard experience is the activities. I mentioned some earlier, but just a slew of activities: Tai Chi, pickleball, free throw contests, trivia, game shows, painting, art auctions. I actually went to an art auction with actual Picasso pieces on board. So even though I did not have the funds to purchase these Picasso pieces, this was so amazing just to see these on the ship. So really special experience. Even shopping is an experience on board. We went to a little Fred Astaire watch gathering in one of the shops. They showed a neat video with Fred Astaire, poured us some whiskey, let us look and try on the watches, didn't pressure us. Just tremendous service and just a fun onboard experience, even with the shopping. We've also brought back some returning traditions that are people that we're known for. Live cooking shows are back, which are amazing. We have our nightly turn down service, live music in the ocean bar, to name a few. And we have some new experiences like our pickleball courts, our up close presentations with local insights and stories, our Dutch Day, our orange party, as I'm dressed in orange today, celebrating our Dutch heritage on every single cruise, which is a blast. Just everyone's dressed in orange, having a great, great time. And the crew really get into it as well. We also have our Global Fresh Fish program. And I'm going to go into a little bit more about that here momentarily when we talk about dining. The next part of choosing Holland America Line is our service. Genuine hospitality beyond your guest expectations. We really do offer authentic, genuine service. We've earned the Best in Service award for Cruise Critic 3 years in a row. We have a very high crew to guest ratio, and we have personalization options for groups and charters. My experience on board was unbelievable. People knew our names. The waitress in our Lido market area knew my name after 1 or 2 interactions, was happy to see me every day, greet me every day. Same thing in Tamarind. You really do get personal service that feels so genuine and authentic with us. And you might have noticed that we have the U and the Savor the Journey promise. And that U is dedication to what matters most, which is our guests. And we place our guests at the core of every experience to help create unforgettable opportunities, which is what we're all trying to do with these corporate groups and what that corporate leadership wants to create for their team. So, and I also take this to heart as an employee in the sales department and embracing you guys as my clients. The last piece of why choose Holland America is our culinary experience, really wowing your clients with cuisine that goes beyond the plate. The dining on board is truly tremendous. One of my best experiences of any meal ever was in our Morimoto by the Sea pop-up restaurant, where the chef actually came out, finished cooking the meal on this little hot stone. It was so delicious. We got to chat with the chef, and it was really a true experience. We bring in locally sourced ingredients and do regional dishes on all of our cruise. We make fresh bread and pasta daily. We have professional chefs who are our culinary ambassadors designing our menus. We have shore excursions that are culinary based, wine tasting in Italy, making Taiwanese pork dumplings in Taiwan, Costa Rican coffee farms, so many to choose from. We also have the Savor My Catch program where you can catch your fish on one of these excursions, bring it on board, and we will cook it up for you that day. I do want to mention that we did win an award from Food and Wine Magazine this year as the best culinary cruise to take. And last year from Travel Weekly, the best cruise for overall cuisine. So our cuisine is a step above anything I have tried on other cruises. I would say multiple steps above, actually, just really fantastic. Want to speak real quick to our Global Fresh Fish program. We're sourcing over 80 varieties of fresh fish locally. Iron Chef Morimoto is our fresh fish ambassador. He has created many of our menu items. We have a pop-up restaurant that I mentioned, the Morimoto by the Sea. We have a catch of the day. We have the Savor My Catch program and fresh fish specials in Alaska and the Caribbean in our Lido market. And this is just a nice visual to show you our global reach and where the variety that we offer in our fresh fish program. And the last piece of that client experience or that guest experience is the destination. So immersive experiences and unforgettable memories where relationships are getting strengthened. We want people to tell stories about their Holland America line cruise, and they will. We have carefully curated itineraries across 400 ports, 114 countries on all 7 continents. We have our up-close programming on board where you can choose to go listen to experts in that area, talk about the places and the cultures that we visit. We do extended times in port, select overnight stays. We have pre and post cruise overland tours available as well. And we have partnerships with the History Channel and National Geographic. We did win an award last year for best cruise for overall shore excursions from Travel Weekly as well. And I think that it's really important in considering cruises is that we see this emerging trend in our industry of, a little bit less of the sun and the fun destinations and more about experiences and different cultures, and a cruise can give you so much of that. We do have our History Channel itineraries. These are exclusively curated with the History Channel itineraries and short excursions that really focus on the history and culture in those areas. In Europe, we have over 175 UNESCO World Heritage sites that we can access from our itineraries, which is really exciting as well. You can see that we even touch on Africa here in Alexandria, and we also have cruises that visit Morocco. So if people are trying to get an experience in Africa, we do offer that. We are the best in Alaska, I have to say. We were voted by Forbes this year as the best cruise in Alaska. We have extensive partnerships in Alaska. We've been doing it for nearly 80 years. We have park rangers on board in Glacier Bay that will stay on all day and talk to you. about what they're seeing in the area, what you're looking at, the wildlife, the glacier. We have glacier viewing on every cruise in Alaska, exclusive partnerships, and you can even add a cruise tour with Denali and or the Yukon for a more up close land experience. Our itineraries, we have 4 and 5 day itineraries available on our Pacific coastal sailings, which are between Vancouver and San Diego, or round trip Vancouver. And we have a variety of 7-day options in Alaska, Canada, New England, the Caribbean, Europe, Mexico, and the Pacific coast. Lots of convenient North American departure points: Fort Lauderdale, Miami, New York, Boston, Seattle, San Diego, and Canadian points as well: Vancouver, Montreal, Quebec. So a lot of easy access. And if you have groups that are can do a little bit longer, we have 9+ day itineraries in pretty much anywhere else all over the world. And you can see our private Bahamian island there in the top right picture, Relax Away Half Moon Key, which just got a bunch of upgrades and enhancements. So we've talked about the guest experience. Now let's talk about your client experience. So why partner with us for your groups and charters? Let's talk about benefits, amenities, support, and partnership. Here's a great picture of our world stage with our LED screens surrounding, which you can see. No, it's not an aquarium, it's screens. So really a great, just an amazing visual experience when you're watching a show on that world stage. So we have our charters and incentives teams. I have them pictured here. We really look at this as a true partnership. You have a single point of contact for sales, which is me. Once we've gotten through that, you have a single point of contact for operations. And you have that person throughout your planning process. Because of these partnerships, we really have a history of client loyalty, of people that come back to us year over year to book their corporate groups or charters or incentive groups. As a dedicated sales manager, I work with you on the quotes, the contract. I can also provide for you customized presentation material for your clients, brand resources for sales conversations, brand updates, about product launches, new programs, etc. And then your dedicated account manager is your single point of contact for planning. They can help with creative agenda planning, personalization, customization. They manage the timeline. They send you reminders. All of our account managers have extensive onboard experience. And for our charter groups, they do escort that group personally, so they are on board to make sure everything goes smoothly for you. Let's talk about the amenities that are included in our corporate and incentive groups. So we're going to give you highly competitive group rates, of course, but for your guests in those groups, they're going to get that signature beverage package, surf Wi-Fi package, $100 shore excursion credit, and 1 night of specialty dining at either our Pinnacle Grill Steakhouse, Tamarind, which is our amazing Asian cuisine, or Canaletto, our delicious Italian cuisine. The group will also get 1 cocktail party. That's all included. Meeting space with basic AV, microphone, sound, and podium. You have a space to host a hospitality desk if you'd like. And then for the purchaser, the agency, we do offer the tour conductor credits, which is going to be a 1 for 15. So for every 15 paid guests, you're going to get a one person rate credit towards your final payment. And I can always quote for you in net rates or gross commissionable fares. The additional benefits of incentive and corporate groups that we offer is 1 rate for each meta. We kind of do a run of ship. And we, instead of giving you multiple rates for all kinds of different categories and making that confusing, we make it really simple and give you a single rate for each type of room. I can do customized categories and room allotments if that is something that's important to your group. You get that rewarded all amenity package. It's worth $700 per person on a 7-day voyage. So a really great value that, like we were talking about earlier. A favorable attrition schedule, allowing just a very limited release of space over time. We also have no cancellation fee until 120 days prior to sailing. You don't have to submit your names until 70 days prior to departure. And you can actually change the names up until the week of sailing with no charge. And of course, you have your single points of contact. So we try to make it really seamless and easy for you. Lots of great charter benefits if you have groups that can charter an entire ship. Of course, that's exclusive use of the ship rooms in public venues. You get your dedicated charter account manager to liaise between you and the onboard team during planning. They escort your charter, as I mentioned. There's also a dedicated onboard event coordinator that the charter account manager will work with once on board, just to make sure everything's going really smoothly for that charter. Complimentary room deliveries. Event and meeting space is complimentary of any public venue, and we have a lot of great ones to choose from. Standard AV equipment is included, and it's just an inclusive value for your charter guests. So the meals, entertainment, live music, activities, fitness center, all of those things are still included. We can also, as I mentioned a few times, just do some really great customization, a wide array of customization options. We can customize onboard programming, branding opportunities, culinary experiences, shore excursions, TV content, venue setup. So much we can customize, and your charter account managers really do a fantastic job with that. We can also even customize itineraries, just depending on ship and port availability. And we can customize the inclusions that we're going to include in your rate. So if you want your guests to have beverage package or Wi-Fi for that charter, we talk about that and they work that in. So you can really make a charter just exactly what you want it to be and the experience that you want for your group, charter groups. So that's about wrapping it up. Just in summary, reminding you that cruising offers wow experiences, unique journeys, lots of variety, great value, a client-centric experience. Holland America line gives you an elevated guest experience with great ships that are uncrowded, perfectly sized, personal, extraordinary service, culinary excellence, celebrating local flavors of where you are, and destination immersion that happens across all 7 continents. And of course, we want to provide you that elevated client experience on my team and with me, where we focus on partnership. You have your dedicated contacts, favorable terms and conditions, and highly inclusive programs available. I really appreciate everyone's time today. Here's my information. You can email me, call me, get me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to provide more resources for you, customize presentation materials for you or your clients, or even do a personal team presentation if you'd like that for your wider teams. And thanks, Natalie. I know I went a little over time. I just get so excited about Holland America.
This has been so informative. Yeah, I mean, usually we have questions, but we don't have time. But I don't think we really need to, because this had a lot of information and it was so great. I don't know if planners who haven't done a charter realize how easy you guys make it, especially by having the dedicated person for everything. I mean, you guys have everything picked out, like all situated so nice and neat, that any planner who has chartered and you haven't checked out Holland America, you clearly should. And if you haven't, consider chartering, because it is easy peasy for your group. It's so nice. And now you know Amy.
Yes. Thank you so much, Natalie. I'm sorry I didn't leave much time for questions, but my contact information is here. So, and please, anyone feel free to reach out directly, and I am happy to answer any questions that you have.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. Bye.